Okay, I'm Glenn Roberts, Chairman of the Board of Zoning Appeals. I'd like to call this meeting to order. If you could, we'll just say a quick invocation. And dear Lord, just want to thank you for the opportunity to serve Anderson. Just please look out for our country and everything going on with that and the virus. And on a local level, please be with one of our board members whose mother passed, and put your loving hand on her and comfort her. We ask these things in your name. Amen. Everybody has a copy of the minutes from February 22nd. Any additions or corrections? We have a motion.
Make a motion.
Making a motion to approve. We have a second.
Second.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. All right, well, I think we have, is there any addenda to the agenda?
No, sir, nothing else to add tonight.
Okay. We have one item on the docket today. It's AA 20-06, a request for a variance from sign requirements at 1807 East Greenville Street.
Yes, sir, the applicant is seeking a variance from sign requirements to allow them to move a freestanding sign closer to the road than allowed. The property is located at 1807 East Greenville Street. This used to be the location of Dunkin' Donuts, was in this space, is now going to be Mission Grill. Again, Mission Grill is moving into the old Dunkin' Donuts location on East Greenville Street. As you can see, there's an existing freestanding sign pole on the property that is being modified to reflect the new business name. Current sign appears to be 3 to 4 feet from the front property line. This calculation is derived from the site plan. The previous variance allowed the parking area to be 12 feet from the property line. The sign sits about a foot in front of the parking area and is 8 feet in width, hence the 3 to 4 foot designation. The applicant would like to have the edge of the sign in line with the front property line. The neighboring sign at Sunset Plaza, as you can see here, is essentially located right at the property line, adjacent to this property. You can see, and then going further down the road, you've got Shadow Creek Apartments, which the apartments themselves are in the county, but the sign is in the city, but there was a variance granted for that years ago due to a physical hardship with the property further in that required a retaining wall, and you can see the other signs as you move down the road. In terms of the findings of fact, in order to be granted a sign variance, you must meet either A, B, and C, or A, B, and D from the 4 criteria, or you have to show that there's a site hardship dealing with the physical topography of the site. We do find that the sign request meets A and B. A being that the proposed new sign will not lead to street level sign clutter. B, the sign will not create a traffic or safety hazard. We do not feel that it meets C or D. C being that the adjustment will allow a unique sign of exceptional design or style, which would be a visual landmark. Or D, that the adjustment will allow a sign that is more consistent with the architecture and development of the site. We also do not feel that it meets the site hardship criteria. It does have road frontage on a road with 18 to 20,000 cars a day. We do feel it's visible. Looking at a couple of pictures here, you can see from the road, you can see the sign here. As you drive down the road, again, you've got their sign here. You've got the neighboring sign here as well. And then from a little further down the road, you've got Sakura, the apartments, Sunset Plaza, and then their sign here as well. Again, we do not feel it meets the criteria for a site hardship or the other adjustments as listed above. Based on that, we are recommending denial of the request based on these findings. Happy to answer any questions you have for staff, and the applicant is here tonight as well.
Okay, any questions for staff? Can you put that first picture up there? Show me on with your pen or whatever about how far up they're wanting to move that.
I would say that you're probably talking about the line being somewhere in here.
Okay.
What we would ask for is if you do approve it, that the property owner be required to get a survey to find and locate exactly where that line is to make sure that the sign is no closer than the line. So to have that mark the front property pins there. It is a very wide right-of-way there for Greenville Street, and so it does come further into the property than you might normally think. So I'm going to guess it's somewhere right around there.
Okay.
You mentioned that one landmark sign needed a variance. The other ones, did they also need a variance?
I could not find a variance for the Sunset Plaza one. They may have gotten one as, somebody else was doing, the variances and the sign approvals at that time. I did look through those files, but I was not able to find anything. But it does not mean that it didn't necessarily happen. I found the parking variance for this lot as well as for the Sunset Plaza lot. They had the same variance to allow them to move the parking closer to the road. Because if you recall, Greenville Street has that extra 15 feet for the building setback, which means instead of being able to put the parking 12 and a half, it has to be at 20. And so both of these got a variance to allow that parking to be at 12 and a half instead of the 20. So I found those variances for both of them, but I did not find any sign variances.
All right, any other questions for staff? All right, any calls on or anything?
No.
Okay, all right. If the, you said the applicant is here, if you'd like to state your case?
Normally it'd have, well, I guess you'd stay there, I mean, which is what we've been doing, but.
Okay, that's fine.
If we need to, I can adjust pictures here or if you want, so.
Yeah, thank you, members, for hearing this. I'm Chris Clemo. I'm the owner of the property under Fulfilling Purpose Investments. I also am the majority owner of Mission Grill. The reason that we sort of called the sign position into question was that, in our opinion, as you are traveling towards town on Greenville Street, the Sunset Plaza sign is quite obstructionary to the visibility of our sign. And we then sort of investigated a little bit about the position of the Sunset Plaza sign and found it to be quite a bit closer to the center of Greenville Street than our sign is. I believe it is approximately 10 to 12 feet closer to the center of the road. And from what investigation I could do, I believe they have the same setback from the center of the road that we do at 60 feet plus 5 feet for our property line. So we were just asking to be as close to the center of the road as they are, so that the sign was as visible, just to be under the same restrictions or same laws that they are. It's possible that they have a different setback than we do, but we didn't have a good explanation as to why their sign could be 10 to 12 feet closer to the road than ours is, particularly on a curve that makes it less visible.
Okay, any questions for the applicant?
You mentioned on it, you're gonna change the sign to be more.
The sign is being upfit as we speak and is about ready to be upfit in the position that it's in, if that's what you guys require of us. And maybe some way down the road, if we were able to get this variance, we would move the sign closer to the road. But it is being upfit to reflect the new signage for the new business and also with a LED board.
When you say up, it looks like it's on four post or.
Yes, sir.
You're
Yes,
gonna
sir.
change those?
So it's being sheeted. The bottom side of it is having aluminum sheeting, and the other side, the top sign where you see Penn Plaza in the picture that you saw tonight, it is being changed over to be Mission Grill. Electric City Eye Care is being moved up, and then a LED board is being moved into the lower position where currently the optometrist sign is.
Any other questions for the applicant? Nobody's here opposed, or somebody wants to speak? Any discussion amongst the board?
Mr. Chairman, the problem that I have with this thing is, with all the signs that are over here on Greenville Street, you let one of them do, it's gonna be like a domino effect, and somebody else is gonna wanna move theirs up, so forth and so on, it's gonna be on and on and on. And they're already, I'm like Ken Anderson, I'm very funny about these signs.
Yeah. Well, do you not know why that other market, Sunset Plaza, is closer?
It does appear that the edge of that, looking at the site plan and the width of the sign as indicated in the sign permit, I would say that that sign is right at the front property line. The front edge here would be right at the front property line. Now, I mean, when you're using the aerial photos from the AC pass, you can't really use those for accurate measurements.
Right.
Because they're off from the parcel boundaries and all that. So, really what you would have to do is have a survey done to show exactly where the line is. But based off the approved site plans, I would say that this one, the Sunset Plaza one, is right at the property line, and, the Mission Grill now would be 3 to 4 feet off the property line. So back from that front
I
property.
think they're allowed to be, how close again?
Supposed to be 5 feet off.
5 feet off, okay.
So they must have had a variance at some point. Is that,
Probably got around it somehow.
I mean, the Mission Grill one is probably close enough where, when they were doing the inspection, they assumed where it was supposed to be. May have been the same thing. I could not find a variance for the Sunset Plaza one. I've searched through the files in the computer and could not find one other than the parking variance. But it may have been when our inspector was out there looking at it, trying to judge the property line that, a mistake was made instead of there being a variance granted, but, so.
He's not asking to move it in front of any signs out there, is that what I'm understanding? He's just want to be in.
He's not equal without them, but it's just, that's already
Yeah,
inside,
he's not trying to move out past any of the signs,
no.
yeah.
The only place he could move it would be up to the property line, because you cannot put the sign in the state right of way.
Right.
And so, I think the most he could move it would be, again, 3 to 4 feet forward from where it is now.
Okay.
Because outside of that, then he'd be in the state right of way, so.
All right, any other discussion? As LED will just work for just these two businesses?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any more discussion and a motion?
I'll make a motion, I don't see a problem with him bringing it out even. He's not trying to go past other signs, he's just trying to bring it out even.
Well, and what the discussion is, I mean, once you do that, make this variance, we didn't do that other variance. I can tell you, I've been on this thing for long enough, I don't remember that sign being a variance. We start doing it for one, you're gonna do it for all of them?
Well, nobody gave, I don't remember giving any variance to any of them down through there. All of them's about at the property line, and what you saying, Jeff?
Shadow Creek one did have a variance years ago, but that was because of a physical hardship with the soil and the slope stability. They have that big retaining wall out there, so they had to move that one to a different location where the soil was better, apparently. That was before my time here, so that
You
was,
said all those other ones are the same, but as far up as Sunset Grill? I mean Sunset Plaza?
let's see. I think they're all probably pretty close.
Close, looks like it.
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, so you making a motion?
I make a motion.
All right, we're gonna put in there about getting the survey, make sure.
Yeah, I think y'all have to survey, find exactly where the property line is.
So if I understand, we have a motion to approve pending a survey showing exactly where the property line is and going up to, but not,
The sign, the closest point of the sign to the property line.
yes.
Okay.
If I could ask a question, sir, after seeing the property plat for Sunset Plaza, I am very suspicious that their sign is in fact on the state right of way. It's not on their property at all.
Okay,
It's actually infringing on the state right of way.
okay. Well, we're gonna say to the property line, we'll give you that far, we're not, no further than that, but I think, go ahead, Jeff.
Well, I was just gonna say, their sign is 11 feet wide at the top and is right in front of their parking lot, which is 12 and a half feet back.
Yeah.
So, from the site plans that I have from when we approved that platform, so.
Okay. But as far as, right now, we have a motion to approve pending a survey to make sure that it is put not beyond the property line.
Right.
Correct?
Okay.
All right,
All right?
do we have a second? All right, all in favor say aye. All opposed, like sign. All right, approved.
Thank you.
Do we have anything else on the, all right, we have a motion to,
Make a motion, we adjourn?
Second.
second. All in favor say aye. All opposed, like sign. We are adjourned.